Welcome to another episode of the Goddess Sugar Podcast. I trust that you are arriving in gratitude, love, and all the magic the universe has to offer because you are very much magical. A gentle reminder before we dive in, everything that I speak about on my podcast comes from my personal truth, experiences, and journey. Take what resonates with your spirit and leave what doesn't. This is a space for exploration and not perfection. Trust your own path, and let's walk this magical journey together. Before any episode, I think it's important for me to acknowledge the people and the forces that have brought me here today. Thank you to my divine pantheon for trusting me with your ancestral wisdom. Thank you to Spirit for being all things. Thank you to the universe for holding the cosmic beauty of our infinity. Thank you to my ancestors who walked before me. Thank you to my sacred guides for holding my hand every step of the way. Thank you to my family, friends, mentors, teachers, and the collective who support me in this physical realm. And thank you to myself for daring to live as the goddess that I am. Hello, lovelies. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's been forever, but it's only technically been a month. But that's kind of a long time. I'm back. I'm finally back. Okay. As you can see, we have a whole new setup. Your girl done moved. Like everything happened. Okay. And I literally just moved to my dream city last month. So I'm coming down from the overwhelm of moving and getting a new place and everything like that. Yeah. Okay. And I'm totally going to make an episode about this huge manifestation that has come to fruition, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Okay. And also, I just want to send my love and hugs to everyone who listens, everyone who taps in, whether you've been here since the first episode or you just passing through, it doesn't matter. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Smooches. I don't want to really spend too much time in rambling. Let's get into it. Today's episode is all about the divine power of choice and decision. When you stop doubting yourself and you decide and you understand that what you want is already yours. Because when a goddess decides, the universe listens. Making divine decisions is not about forcing or chasing anything. It's all about alignment and simply allowing spirit to move mountains on your behalf. Okay, boo. So take a breath, get your candle, get anything you need, and let's get into it. Now, I usually have my smoking incense with me, but I don't have that today. I have my candle. I'm actually put it right here. Okay, we setting the vibes. There we go. So let's talk divine decisions. The type that light you up and turn you on. Period. First thing with making your divine decisions, when you make a decision, you are declaring to the universe, okay? You are starting to put this energy in motion when you make your decisions. If you consider yourself to be a pretty decisive person, then this will be a little easy for you. But if you're indecisive, then we got to talk about that. I say that because when you are in the process of always going back and forth and you can't make a decision, okay, you're sending mixed signals to the universe. And for example, I like to think about it like this. You know how you're like talking to someone or like you're talking to a guy and like he's sending mixed signals and it just has you confused? That's exactly what you're doing to the universe when you're being indecisive, okay? And because you're moving in that indecisive energy, the universe doesn't know how to move. So it's just not gonna move at all until it's like, okay, baby girl, when you make your decision and when you're clear, then holla at me. You feel me? When you decide to move with clarity, that's when your path will start to clear for you. Because when you're confused, it's only gonna cloud your magnetism. When you make a decision and when you are set on something, right? We talk about attraction. We're not chasing anything, but it'll be harder for you to attract things when it's a whole bunch of cloudiness going on, when it's a lot of confusion going on mentally. So that's why it's important to clear your mind. Anything that is not aligned with the decision that you have set for yourself, you need to get rid of, period. And once you make your decision, you cannot focus so much on the 3D. And I feel like that's where a lot of people get messed up. It's like, you'll decide, okay, I want this thing or I want this future, but then the next day you're not seeing it, or you may be seeing things that are opposing the decision that you made, but it's like, you can't budge, okay? You can't fold That's the thing. You have to stay and stick with your decision. If you don't, and you start to fold every time it seems like it's a no, every time it looks like it's not going to work out, you're just kind of showing that you're not necessarily ready to really hold that, because you have to be clear, like, okay, I want this thing. You have to be stubborn. You have to be standing 10 toes on business when it comes to the decisions that you make for your life. When it comes to making your decisions and being set on something, you got to make that shit so clear. Write it out if you need to, speak it if you need to, whatever you need to do. You need to make it plain, because with the universe, it's a straight shooter. It's not doing all that extra stuff, okay? You cannot be sending mixed signals. Make the decision, make it plain Jane, okay? Also, with this, it's like, I love to make analogies, y'all. Like, that's really how I catch on to things and how things stick. You know how you go into a restaurant or, when you at the drive-thru and that one person who pulls up to the menu board and they trying to figure out what they want, but it's like, why didn't you decide what you wanted before you got there, right? And it's like the people behind them be so aggravated. Okay, same concept. When it's time to make the decision, you need to look at everything. You need to write out everything and be like, okay, this is what I'm going for. Let's put it in. And for my folks that may have a hard time making decisions, personally, what I like to do, number one, I always follow my heart. I know that sounds so cliche, but the thing is, your gift of feeling is going to be one of the most powerful tools that you ever use in your life. And that's why I talk about pleasure being a guide, right? So when you're making decisions, think about the decision that makes you feel full, that makes you feel fulfilled, that makes you feel big, that makes you feel happy, peaceful. What I'm saying? All these different feelings, blissful, everything like that. If you think about a decision or a choice that you're about to make and it makes you feel small, it makes you feel like you have to compromise yourself, that is not the decision to make. You want to use your feelings as a GPS. And the crazy thing is that we've been taught to actually go against our feelings. We've been taught not to listen to our intuition because it's not logical. But the beautiful thing is about intuition is that it is your direct communication line with the cosmos, with the universe, with your higher self, with your ancestors, etc. So therefore, it is very much valid, okay, and always will be. And so when you use that as your GPS, you will start to live a more pleasurable life. I like to tell myself this all the time. I'm never going to lead myself astray. Societal systems have kept us away from that. But you know why? It's not because it's wrong. It's because it's powerful. Do y'all notice that anything that we've been taught to go against is actually the most powerful? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Society is constructed in a way where we are supposed to be separated from our true selves. You see how everybody tries to fit into societal norms. You see how there's always a standard that everyone's trying to reach, right? And it's always this, don't do this because it doesn't make any sense, or there's no logic behind it. At that. Okay. We go with our intuition over here. And if I'm being honest, you already know the decision that you want to make. Whenever the first time you were put in the situation, or if you thought about the decision or the choice, that first voice and what you wanted to do already told you the answer. But see, you be spending so much time doing like this, that indecision. You get what I'm saying? That indecision clouds stuff up. And again, you're sending mixed signals. And also, just to add, when you start sending mixed signals, you are making the process longer than it needs to be. Because the more you sit back and keep doing like this, going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth, ain't nothing really happening, boo. Because you're stuck. You're staying right there. It's stagnant energy. You don't want any of that. What I was saying about film, the reason why it's so powerful, check this out. Okay, so if you're into like quantum physics, like quantum leap and all of that, check this out. The thing is, when you feel into something, like let's say, I don't know, I'm just going to use like a very cliche one, right? So let's say you decide like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, you know what I'm saying? Or a billionaire. No, trillionaire. Let's make it big. Okay. Let's say like that's the choice you're making. Like that's what you decide. Think about everything you feel when you say that. When you think about yourself being this trillionaire, like if you think about this life that you have as a trillionaire, right? Okay, do you know why you can feel into that so deeply? It's because there's already a parallel reality where you are actually that. That's why you're able to feel into it so easily. That's why it makes you feel so good. It's like your desire in your heart, like it feels so full, right? Like you could really feel into it because there's a version of you already doing that. And the thing is, also, if we want to talk about time, right? So of course we've been taught that time is linear and that there's a past, present, and future. But technically, no. Everything's happening right now. So this reality, like I'm talking to you right now, like this is happening right now, but then also like what you would consider the past is happening right now and the future is happening right now. It's just a parallel reality. So back to what I'm saying, the life that you see yourself living, the version of yourself that you want to be, he already exists. Your job is to simply align with that reality. That's it. And when it comes to making these divine decisions for your life, here's the thing. When you're like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want to be, etc., right? Again, clarity, moving with clarity, understanding that, okay, I made this decision. That is the initiation of the quantum leap. You understand? Because once you actually decide and you stand in 10 toes, that's the thing. That's the thing. And I'm not gonna lie, this be kind of getting on my nerves, like when I talk to people, and it's like, a lot of people just do all this. You see that? All this talking. Everybody's like, oh, I want to be this. I want to have this. I want to do this. But then when it comes to actually, all right, cool. Then what we doing? What inspired action are we taking? Then nobody's showing up. We can't do that. Making your decision, making it plain, and moving with clarity. And like I said, you have to be stubborn. When I tell you this has helped me so many times, literally like manifesting what I want, because once I make a decision, I'm on it. I'm like, I don't want anything else. It's either this or nothing. That's really how I am for real. Like you really got to be stubborn. You got to be like, okay, this is what I want, period. And you take the inspired action to go alongside with it, right? So there's the practical side of taking that inspired action, and then there's the surrendering. So it's both. Y'all have to understand the practical side of things and then the spiritual side of things. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. I always like to think about this scripture in the Bible. I may not be quoting it right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's like faith without works is dead. It goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I like to think about things. What people will do is you'll decide something, and like for the first week or two, it's cool. It's like, okay, I'm with it. But then the first time you get that thing's not working out how you expected, you got to be specific about that. Or the first no that you get, or the first rejection that you get, you are so quick to give up. And that is the problem. And that is why you will stay stuck in the same reality that you're in. Because when you decide to budge like that all the time, or you're easily moved, or you're easily there we go. Easily discouraged, because that's another thing. When you make the decision, like I said, you initiated that quantum leap by making that decision. Like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is what I want for my life, right? There are going to be tests thrown at you. There are going to be people that be like, how you going to do that? Or they're just going to project their fears onto you. And the thing is, it's up to you to decide. Are you going to let that become your shit? Or you just gonna be like, that don't matter. Like, that's not even in alignment with what I'm doing. So what you have to say doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't compare to what I got going on. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, you have to really build that inner resilience and that strength when it comes to making decisions for your life. Okay. And personally, if you like me, I don't run my decisions by anybody because my validation is enough. And I will add that as a tip. Like, really, when you start to use your intuition more as a guide, you know what I mean? Like truly using it as a guide and putting that into your life, you don't need anyone else's validation. Okay? You don't need anyone else's head nod or permission to be like, yeah, that would be a good idea. Like, you should do that. No, I already made the decision. You get what I'm saying? You gotta be standing on business like that when it comes to you. When it comes to not budging, you have to be so convicted that this thing or this life is for you. This is where you've probably heard before, like being delusional. So there's a healthy way of being delusional. And when I think about being delusional in its simplest form, I just think of it like, okay, I'm so convicted that this thing is for me. I want to bring an example to the table. Like I said, I'm not really going to get into this episode, even though it's a good topic that goes with this episode. But like I said, I'm not going to get too much into it, but just for example, because it recently happened. Like, I just moved to Chicago. I just mentioned that, right? Here's the thing. From the moment I traveled to Chicago for the first time, I was convicted, like literally convicted. I was like, this city is for me. This city is for me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to wait like a hot ass minute before I got here, but you know what I'm saying? Still happened. It doesn't matter. But that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, I did not budge. You know what I'm saying? Even when people question, why you love Chicago? Why you trying to be in Chicago? How that shit gonna happen? I ain't budge. I ain't budge. You know why? Because I was that convicted. I already made the decision. So everything is already happening. The bridge of incidents is already taking place. And boom, your girl is here. You feel me? New apartment, Ari Lennox. You gotta be so convicted. You gotta know, okay, this is mine right here. Because the thing is, even when I had the days where I didn't know how I was gonna get to Chicago, like I didn't know, like, okay, this step, da 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 da. I always felt into the days that I was, you know, taking drives on Lakeshore. You know what I'm saying? I felt into the days where I was able to see the Sears Tower, all these things, shopping on Mag Mile. Like, I felt into those days. What I was doing, and when I was doing that, I was continuously aligning myself with this reality that I'm living right now, living in Chicago. So I just wanted to bring that in as an example to bring around what I'm saying about not budging and being convicted. I just mentioned this topic of the bridge of incidents. So what's the bridge of incidents? It's very simple. You make the decision, right? Initiate it. Now, the bridge of incidents starts to happen. This concept is the series of occurrences. What do you want to say? I feel like there's another word I could use. Series of occurrences, things that will happen that are being rearranged in your favor, that are helping you align with the reality you're trying to be in, with this thing that you're trying to get, right? So this is where all those synchronicities start popping in. The synchronicities, they come, okay? All of the messages, all of that. For example, when it came to me in Chicago, when I tell you the amount of times that I saw a White Sox license plate, you know, like I saw that a lot. The 222s, the 555s, like all of that. It's like, okay, she made the decision. Let's get it. That is the same in your case. Once you decide, be open to the signs that the universe has for you. That's the thing. Y'all cannot limit how the universe communicates to you. Okay, whether it's angel numbers, whether it's music, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Like, pay attention to the head nods, because the thing is, again, it's easy to pay attention to the things that are not working out. It's easy to pay attention to the no's, to the rejections, to the failures, etc. But the thing is, if you really think about it, as many times as you've seen an angel number, as many times as you've seen a divine message, as many times as you've maybe heard your reality or like seen somebody else like doing what you're doing on TikTok, or you've heard about it. If you took each one of those and added it up and compared it to how many no's you got, it wouldn't compare. It would, I promise you, it would not compare. So yes, when it comes to the bridge of incidents, you want to be on alert for that. Look for anything that's giving you a green light. Okay, because the universe will do that. The universe will constantly remind you, you're on the right path. You good. It's for you. You right. That itch on your heart, you good. You good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You know what I'm saying? The universe is not against you. The universe is literally designed to support you in any endeavor that you want. Do you know how excited the universe gets? Do you know how excited your ancestors get? How your higher selves get? Like, I'm telling you, your whole divine team, do you know how excited they get when you actually make a decision for you? Like a truly pure aligned decision that's going to change your life. Do you know how excited they get? Because I bet we get to rearrange things on their behalf. Let's go. Your divine team wants to work on your behalf. They want to move things on your behalf. They want to rearrange things that's like to, you know what I'm saying, another human be like, that's impossible. How'd that happen? You ain't got to worry about that. Don't worry about my divine team. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about them. They got it. They love doing that for you. They literally love that shit. They love working on your behalf in the other realms and in the other cosmic spaces. And so what I was talking about before, the spiritual side of things and then the practical side of things coexisting, right? So you making a decision, that's energetics, right? That thought, because thoughts are literally energy, but thoughts then come into words, words become actions, actions become habits, okay? And I want you to track that back to the trillionaire situation, because like I said, I know that's super cliche, but it's easy for me to use right now. Once you decide, oh, I want to be a trillionaire, okay, cool. So what are the thoughts of a trillionaire? What are the words of a trillionaire? What are the actions of a trillionaire and what are the habits of a trillionaire? See, you have to know these things. Take the inspired action. So start to surround yourself with people that you want to be like. Put yourself in those spaces. Watch videos. Listen to podcasts. Like all these, it's little things that like people overlook, but it's like, no. You have to, I talk about this all the time on my page. Embodiment. That's all manifestation is. It's embodiment. Okay, so you have to embody what you desire. Even we talking about being a goddess, right? The goddess that you want to be, embody her. Think about who she is. Think about the woman that she is. Or even think about goddesses, that inspire you. And maybe, you want to pick their brain a little bit. You have to embody that shit. Have the thoughts of a goddess, the words of a goddess, the actions of a goddess, and the habits of a goddess. Okay? It all starts to formulate, right? Because then your habits will literally formulate your day. Do you get where I'm going with this? Okay, so back to the concept of inspired action. Inspired action looks like, I want to use this as a good example. You want a new apartment. Okay, what's inspired action I can take, Z? Go tour. Don't just look at the apartment online, go tour. And the thing is, if you want to step it up a notch, even if you feel like you can't afford it at the moment, still go tour it. Because your brain actually really doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. The only thing it knows is what you tell it, what you show it. Like, it really doesn't know the difference. So if anything, your brain don't really know that you can't afford it. That's just what you're saying. See, in mine, you keep saying that I can't afford it. So crazy, but I'm so serious. In your mind, you keep telling yourself that you can't afford it. But if you continuously go tour, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's free to tour. I'm so serious. Like, go tour it anyway, because you are putting into practice and you're putting yourself in settings of luxury. If you're trying to get a luxury apartment or whatever, like, y'all get what I'm saying. Take the inspired action. Write out, okay, what do I need to do? Or for example, you trying to get a new job. You really want a new job. Okay, practical, inspired action. Okay, update your LinkedIn, update your resume, go talk to people, go to networking events. While you're doing your affirmations on the energetic side, you know what I'm saying? While you're aligning your chakras on the energetic side, there's still practical, inspired action you can take. And the thing is, like I said, y'all, some of these things that I'm naming are free, very free. You can find free networking events. An apartment tour, that's free. If you want a new car, a test drive, that's free. Start training your mind and your nervous system to receive what's already yours. That's all I'm saying. To you, this may seem really small, but the thing is, it doesn't matter whether it's small or big inspired action. You're still aligning yourself. Like, every piece of inspired action that you take is another wave of alignment. Okay, wave of alignment. Okay, cool. You're continuously doing that. We talked about making the divine decision, right? And making that initiation. We also talked about the bridge of incidents. These series of events that are going to occur that are going to help you align with the reality that you want. So please understand, during this time, right? Or space. I really like the word space. Space. There may be divine detours. That's how I like to look at them. Divine detours. Things may not work out the way you planned or that you saw it, but it's still aligning for you. It's still working out for you. So please don't get too caught up in the divine detours, because I even had to learn this as of recently, because I'm a planner girl. Like, I really like to plan things out. But honestly, I'm gonna be so 100 with you. Sometimes your plan is not the best plan. I promise you, like, I'm being so honest. Sometimes your plan really is not the best plan. Like, you really may think you're a top tier planner. You're like, okay, but this has always worked. But that may not always be the case. And I always tell people this. I tell my friends this especially. It's either you gonna get what you asked for or better. The way I look at it, if something's not working in my plan, that means the universe has something more magical in mind. That's all I'm saying. Like, you have to remember back to when we initiated, when we made that divine decision, right? The universe heard exactly what you wanted purely. So it's like, okay, you said, but this is what you said. Okay, so we're going to align this because this is what you really want. I know what you really want, and I'm going to give you what you want and then some. So allow the universe to do its thing, because like I said, the universe is designed. Literally, the universe is designed to support you, designed to love you, designed to provide you with miracles, to provide you with aid. Okay? It's designed to do that, because you got to think, we are literally, now this is a little advanced, but us spiritual beings having this human experience, We are just the universe experiencing itself in different forms. Okay, so why would the universe not want to help itself? Chew on that for a little bit. Chew on that for a little bit. I'll say it one more time. Us, as spiritual, energetic beings, are having a human experience, but simply we are the universe experiencing itself in human form. Therefore, the universe is going to help itself. You get what I'm saying? So yes, do not get discouraged with the divine detours. It's all leading to the same place where you trying to be, okay? Something that really helps me when it comes to making decisions, and I talked about this in my Push and P episode. Personally, now you don't have to do this, but personally, I make decisions that turn the girl on, okay? If I don't feel juicy about it, I'm not doing it, okay? Like, that's just like, that's my personal compass. But I mean, it's still connected to my heart, right? It's connected to my heart and my sacral chakra in particular. But yes, that's really how I make my decisions. Like, if I'm in the midst of making a decision, I'm like, and it's not making me feel like, ooh, I'm not doing it. That's just me. But you have to find your own, like, special way and authentic way on how you make your decisions. You know, I'll put it this way. You'll know what feeling that comes up when you actually make a really good decision for yourself. That has come with time for me. Like, that's how I learned how to make decisions for myself. Because at first, I feel like in my earlier years, I would make decisions out of obligation, or I would make decisions very logically, like, but this is the one that makes sense. But this is the one that's acceptable. Now, another way that can kind of help you with making decisions. Now, this is for my ones that's not scared. You got to have a lot of courage to do this. But I dare you to make a decision that makes you terrified. I say that because oftentimes when it comes to decision making and we see that decision that makes us really scared, it makes us feel unstable, like all of these different things, that's most likely the one you need to make, because the fear is not, oh, like something's bad is going to happen. That's not truly what the fear is rooted in. The fear is actually rooted in you having to expand, you having to be uncomfortable, you having to be unfamiliar, okay? And your ego gets threatened by that. And the version of you currently gets threatened by that because like, hold on. If she or he makes that decision, that means I gotta die. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, and we talked about this in the Embracing Collapse episode, right? So again, once you decide, you're like, okay, I'm moving to a whole different reality. I'm on a whole different timeline. Most likely that the version of you has to die, because that timeline, that reality is going to require a different version of you, an upgraded version of you. It all ties back. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. When it comes to your decision making, like I said, I dare you to make the one that makes you terrified, because it's going to force you to expand and it's going to force you to be unfamiliar. But we don't like to be unfamiliar, right? We want to know everything. Nah, when you upgrading in life, you're going to have to make a lot of decisions that make you uncomfortable. A lot of decisions that are going to force you to become more disciplined. That's just a little, you know what I'm saying? Try it when you're ready. Okay. And a practical way that helps me make decisions if I'm like too clouded up here, you know what I'm saying? I go back to the old school. Get me a little piece of notebook paper and make me a pros and cons list. Okay. This is what you do. You take one side of the paper, write the decision out on the top, and then the other decision out on the top. Write all the pros and cons. And when I say write all, even the littlest thing that you think doesn't really matter in the situation, no, write every single thing out. But I want to add a little sprinkle to this pros and cons list, because nobody really talks about this. Then at the bottom of your pros and cons, write what could be the best case scenario if I make this decision, and what could be the worst case scenario if I make this decision. Do that for decision 1, and then also do that for decision 2. Read through all of that, thoroughly read through all of it. I want you to really pay attention to that best case and worst case scenario part. When we are making decisions out of fear, you're just thinking about, oh, the worst thing can happen. But did you also think about what the best case scenario could be? Okay, that's how you upgrade your mindset. Think in possibility, not in fear. Okay, because fear will keep you very limited. It'll keep you small. Fear, when I tell you it has mastered that, fear has a way of keeping people just like this, because it keeps you controlled. It keeps you tamed. We don't like to be tamed over here. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. When you look at the best case scenario, it may seem out of reach to you now, but when you train your mind to think in possibility and to think in infinity, then that won't seem so out of reach to you the more that you do it. And the beautiful thing is that I want to leave y'all off with If you are somebody that recognizes yourself as a god or a goddess, please understand the power of your words and your thoughts. When you command and when you declare, that's it. Your words are declarations. It's not even really a ask. It's a, okay, this is mine. So what we doing? That's really what it is. You get what I'm saying? You have to understand your power. That's what this whole life is. It was remembering your power. What you want is already yours. It's already yours, boo. You just have to what? What have we been talking about this whole time? Decide. So remember, goddess, when you make a divine decision, the universe obeys. No more of the back and forth. No more of the confusion. Just you standing tall in your sacred yes. Every desire is simply waiting on you to decide. Until next time, love, keep moving forward with clarity and pushing that pleasure, and let your choices and decisions be magic.
Stay calm, and remember, even when life tries to throw salt in your sugar, be a goddess anyway. Peace and blessings. Much love. Ciao, ciao. Ashe. Until next time, love. XOXO.